Alright, something a bit different today. A new video with regards to my Tokyo Marui MP7A1 gas blowback. Now this is my go-to for CQB. It's a great little thing, really compact, it's accurate as well. I don't think I've only ever had one mechanical issue with it, but that was user error due to too much grease on the slide for the nozzle. And I managed to get a BB wedged between the hop chamber in there and the outer casing, but that was due to putting too much grease in there. Other than that, it's been absolutely flawless. So it does suffer with the same issue that all gas blowbacks suffer with, really, and that is cold weather and these things. If it's warm, these things are brilliant. If it's cold, I do have some issues with gassing out. So unfortunately, you can have a game day where you're running around fine and you'll get 10 shots out of that and then you'll have to regas it. Or this particular one, I've had completely gas out in my hand. And yeah, I've put new seals in it, whatever, but that's just this one. All the other magazines have been fine. So I've been looking at options for what I can use instead of this when the weather's cold. In the UK, most of the time it is not nice, warm and sunny, and gas makers don't like it. So I've doing some research, Facebook groups, YouTube, you know, the usuals, as we all do when we're bored. And there seems to be a name that pops up more than any other that provides the system to exactly the problem I've been having. I'm sure many others are having. So I thought I'd do a little video of it, show you what it's like, what happens with it, how it comes, and then we'll hopefully do some testing and some game day footage. So let's have a look at it. Here it is. So what's in the box? Let's have a look. Oh look, some packaging. I need that. We don't need that. Oh. This is hopefully a solution. Very well packaged. Airtac, valve key, and a drum mag. So, Airtac supply HPA adapters, and this one is a HPA adapter for the MP7. It comes with a 400 round drum mag. Marvellous. So let's have a closer look at them. Let's get these out of the packaging and have a look. Get these out. Now, just to add, I haven't been sent this by Airtac to do any sort of review on it or anything biased towards Airtac. I've brought this with my own money. It's something I've been looking into for a while as to what to do for gas issues, and this seems to be the best option. So it's not a plug for Airtac, I just thought I'd review it as I've got it. Right, well, first things first. That thing appears to be 3D printed. The finish on it is really, really good. Don't see any rough edges or any problems with finish. That's awesome. And the weight, it weighs nothing. Right, let's try it. Hold on. Have a look at this here. So turn that on, 0 it, and it wants to wake up. So let's take one TM gas mag. And 442 grams. A drum mag plus adapter. 217. I mean, obviously there's no BBs in it, but there's no BBs in that, and this is metal and that isn't. But it is considerably lighter. Also, the more eagle-eyed of you will have noticed that TM gas mag, Airtac adapter. There's a few bits missing. So this one has no feed lips, no air feed, no valve, and no valve knocker. There's a reason for that. So Airtac do different versions of this adapter. Okay, you can buy the shell of it basically for £120, or Airtac can sell you a fully built one, so everything's attached, so V-lips, valve knocker, valve, all of that included. Their pre-built version is £175. This was 120, I think. Yes, 120. So what that means is it is cheaper, but obviously you will have to sacrifice a working TM mag, or if you've got a broken one. This one is having air issues, so this one's for the chop. So bear that in mind. The cheaper option doesn't come fully built. You will have to build it yourself. The drum is separate to the adapter. It's not one kit, because they do loads of versions of these. They do MP7 to MP5, they do MP7 to M4, I think. So you've got loads of options. I've been torn on which one to get, because I was going to go down the MP5 route. The only thing that's stopped me is this thing, plus an MP5 mag, we'll use this one for demonstration, and the adapter. It's going to stick out, like, it's going to be down here. If you get, say, the 120 round magazines, and it's just too big, and I don't want an M4 adapter in it, because I just think they look ridiculous. I know a lot of people swear by them, and it saves on to reload, but we're quite fortunate that our Airsoft kit, we can have it looking as realistic as possible, so I don't know why strap an M4 mag to it, but that's personal preference. Right, so I think we're going to have to build this, aren't we? So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to do a demo on how to put it together. There is already a really good video on the Airtac website, so I would recommend you go to their website. If you do get one, go to their website, watch their video. It helps them out, and also it's probably best if you follow the manufacturer's instructions, isn't it, really? So yeah, we'll come back in a few seconds, and magically this will be built.
A few moments later.
So as if by magic, there we are. One put together HPA adapter drum mag. Now, I followed the guide on the Airtac website. It took very little tools. I used a valve key, a small tapping stick, and a small punch to get the pins out. But you could do that with any sort of just tools you've got lying around the house, as long as you've got something to get the pins out, because they can be a bit tricky. So following the guide on the website, that took me 14 minutes from including dismantling the other TM mag. It would have been probably 7-8 minute job, but the valve for some reason didn't want to come out of there, so it had to be a bit of extra wiggling. It's sturdy, there's no movement in it. The pins for the gas route and the feed lips did go in quite easily, so I might have to keep an eye on those just to make sure they don't start to work their way out. The pins for the drum are really solid, and yeah, I'm quite impressed with it so far. I've not fired it, I've not even connected it to an airline yet. There's the door in the back to put the BBs in. That's going to be a bit tricky to fill, but there you go. And the winder. Now, let's see if it fits. No movement there. It's actually smaller than I was expecting, the drum mag, to be honest, because you've got no point of reference on the Airtac website as to how big it is. Yeah, I'm more than happy with that. Obviously I need to test it, but I didn't want a huge MP5 mag sticking out, and if I'm putting the shorter ones in, well, there's not really much point, because you've then got adapter plus magazine, and that sits really nicely. It's not too big, it doesn't stick out too far. Yeah. Does it release alright? Yep. No marks or anything like that? No. So yeah, we'll obviously test it, but the other thing to consider is if you don't have anything else HPA, you have got additional costs on top of just this. So I already have HPA because my MTW is HPA, so bear in mind, if you're going, this is going to be your first outing into HPA, you are also going to need a tank, a regulator, and a HPA line. So just things to consider. If you've already got this stuff, then well, you know what you're talking about. If not, you're going to need extra bits to run it as HPA. It's not just like a green gas fill up and go, so just bear that in mind if you're looking at this as your first HPA. So yeah, looking forward to testing that. That's nice work, Airtac. Fingers crossed all works alright. We shall see. Right, let's go test it. Right then, let's get some BBs in it. So, filling it up is through the little hatch on the back. Though the airline is right in the way, I'm not sure. And this is going to result in a loss of BBs. Let's have a go. I'll stick some 2.5 traces in it, because generally I use 2.5 traces in this because it's CQB, and it's normally at the department where you're limited at 0.25s anyway. Oh, one out. I don't know if you can't really see, but I managed to use my little thumb to cover the rest of the hole in case they all bounce out and fall past the... Some more out. Not great with the last of the bottle. That's all. Oh, missed. Let's see in there. How much in there? Let's try it on those. They've opened in a fresh bottle. So the winder. Oh, there we go. Okay. Not very stealthy, is it? You can hear me coming from a mile away. Right, so as per Airtac's website, it says to run 100 psi plus. So I've set it to 100, just see how we get on. I'm guessing, obviously, you're going to have to make some adjustments depending on what your FPS limit is and where you're using it, as this is indoors on 2.5s at the department. It's going to be about 315 is the maximum, so I'll probably run at about 300 just to be on the safe side. Let's connect this to an airline, just hope it doesn't leak. Interesting. I'm getting a slight hiss from the valve. Right. That might be a problem. That valve might need tidying up. Right, let's do that first and come back. So to get at the valve, we've got to push the valve knocker pin out. Keep your thumb over that because it's got a spring on it. And don't lose your pin. So spring, the valve's pushing against it. Right, valve key. This is the one from Airtac as well. Right, that won't go any further. I don't really want to push it any further because I don't want to crack the casing of the adapter. It has got a metal thread in it, which is quite good. So it comes with one pre-built in, so you're not threading the valve into the 3D printed material. There is actually a metal thread. Just trying to suit that with a pin for the pin side. And I appear to have completely missed it. Well done. I'm supposed to go through the hole. So that was, as I mentioned earlier, how easy that goes in. It's just, oh, it's tightened at least. So let's try that again. There it goes. I'm definitely getting a hiss from somewhere. I think it's coming from there still. Let's have a bit more of a look at that. It might be the seal on the valve. Oh, either way, let's see if it fires. Semi. Yep, it's firing. Full auto. These are coming back out my BB cutter that's obviously not working. I have got iPro on. Seems to work. Works. Might have to do a bit more of a looking into if that's leaking or not. I think it's ever so slight, but Yeah, I think the seals might need changing on that valve. So, but other than that, works a treat. A bit loud with BBs in it, but not a lot I can do about that. Same as any drum mag or high cap. MP7 fires fine. So yeah, I was going to do a chrono test just to show this consistency with it being HPA over a gas mag, but I've lost the adapter to fit the chrono to the end of the MP7, so I can't do it. So I will come back to that and we'll do a comparison. Oh, just noticed you can see the BBs. Yeah, needs to work a treat. All it needs now is a game day. So that'll be the next one. Would I recommend it? So far so good. It's well built, very lightweight, really seems to be really solid material, and it functions. Other than potential little bit of a leak there, but bearing in mind that valve came from a mag I was having issues with, so whether I might just have to replace that, it's more likely the mag as opposed to leaking past the seals. Sorry, leaking past seals as opposed to leaking past the material and the metal thread. So, yeah, it's worth it. As we'll find out in the gameplay video. Cheers guys, see you again.